Soul were and are amongst the most important and prominent parts of the British R&B explosion of the late 1980s, renowned for their dedication to that genre and to their groundbreaking part in ensuring that UK soul and New Jack Swing were finally taken seriously on the club and dance scenes. While the group, a loose collective of musicians, DJs, producers, and singers, officially formed in London, England in 1988, the seeds that were first sown along the journey to make that happen were actually planted in the mid-1970s. British DJ and music producer Jazzy B, born Trevor Beresford Romeo, to parents from the Caribbean island of Antigua, along with a school friend named Philip Harvey, better known as Dade, used to go to play dances with their first sound system when they were just 13 years old. Their first North London sound system, Ja Rico, played mainly reggae, but after a few years, changed the vibe to more soul and funk, and Soul to Soul was born. We came up with the name not just because of the music we played, it also stood for Dade and myself, two souls moving together. We've always had that kind of relationship. There are not many words exchanged between us, but everything that's happened has been very much in tandem. Soul to Soul quickly achieved a name in their community, but were in no position to give up the day jobs. And at age 18, Jazzy B, aka the Funky Dread, was working for Cockney pop legend Tommy Steele as a tape operator. He told Sound on Sound magazine in 2022, "I learned my craft making cups of tea, taking all the notes for the outboard equipment, lining up tape machines. I learned about frequency. So the difference between making a record in the studio and how does that sound transpose to the sound system. In those days, the development of all of that world was pretty incredible." As the group grew, Jazzy B was determined to create a dance floor environment that would appeal across the board. Soul to Soul's dances that had been reflecting what was naturally occurring in London, kids of all races had grown up together and were now raving together. By the mid-1980s, the warehouse scene was in full swing, vibrant and underground, removed from the constraints of the mainstream, a natural fit for Soul to Soul's creativity. Nothing summed them and their crowd up better than their regular Sunday night spot at the now legendary Africa Centre in London's Covent Garden. This was truly the Soul to Soul experience, which, unlike other sound systems on the same circuit, wasn't just about the big name DJs, it was about a vibe. The Africa Centre was a game changer for Soul to Soul, for British black music, and for the nation's youth culture in general. It caught the attention of Virgin Records, who signed them as an act in 1988, with the starting lineup consisting of Jazzy B, Dade, singers Caron Wheeler, Doreen Waddell, and Rose Windross, producer Nellie Hooper, producer and musician Simon Law, and DJs HB and Jazzy Q. There was the Soul to Soul lifestyle too, with several shops in London selling clothing emblazoned with the Funky Dread logo, plus all manner of branded merchandising. They even had a slogan, a happy face, a thumpin' bass for a lovin' race. The group got off to a slow start when their first single, Fair Play, released in 1988 with Rose on lead vocals, only made it to number 63 on the UK singles chart, and their follow-up, Feel Free, which featured Doreen on lead vocals, charted at number 64. The following year, though, the whole world would know who Soul to Soul was. In March 1989, their label released the single, Keep On Movin', written by Jazzy B and featuring Caron on lead vocals. The song became an international smash success, going to number 5 on the UK singles chart, number 1 on the US Billboard R&B songs and dance songs charts, number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100, and secured top 10 or top 20 placements in several other countries. Caron spoke to The Guardian in 2012 about how she got into the group and how she ended up taking the lead on their first hit. "I came to Soul by chance. We were round at Jazzy B's house and someone put on an album I had done vocals and arrangements on. When Jazzy B heard my voice, he invited me to back Doreen Waddell on the Soul to Soul track Feel Free. After that, I was given the lead vocal on Keep On Movin'. It started out as disco, but I slowed it down because I felt the words were flying by and the meaning was being lost. The following month, the group's debut album titled Club Classics Volume 1 dropped. The US version used the title Keep On Movin'. It captured the top spot on the UK albums chart, as well as the Billboard Top R&B Albums chart. The group's next single, Back to Life, would become their biggest hit to date, capturing the number 1 spot on the UK singles chart, Billboard R&B songs and dance songs chart, as well as their highest position on the Hot 100 at number 4. The song went on to win the group their first Grammy Award for Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocal. It should be noted that the LP version of the song differs greatly from the dance classic that topped the charts, as it was included in its original a cappella form. A last-minute inclusion to the album, Back to Life was originally an intro to another cut called Jazzy's Groove, but after everyone who heard it loved it, it became the basis of a new track to be released as the band's next single. Two versions were laid down, one which included the original a cappella played over a new instrumental, while for the other, the vocal was completely re-recorded and used as the basis for the track which everyone came to know and love. The LA Times described the group's music in a 1990 article saying, "Soul II Soul's music is an ingeniously danceable mix of assorted elements, such as James Brown-style funk, the orchestral disco sound of Barry White, mainstream jazz and the R&B, vocal style popularized by Motown in the 60s. At this time, Doreen and Rose would depart from the group, leaving room for Marcia Lewis, a cousin of Jazzy B, to join the group. The single Get Alive, which featured Marcia on lead vocals, charted at number 3 on the UK singles chart, number 5 on the Billboard R&B songs chart, and number 9 on the Billboard Dance Songs chart. In early 1990, Caron left the group to pursue her solo career. Kim Mazel, Lamia, and Victoria Wilson-James would set in to form a new official lineup. Soul II Soul released their second album, Volume 2, 1990, A New Decade, which peaked at number 1 on the UK albums chart. The second single, A Dream's a Dream, which features Victoria on lead vocals, performed well on the UK singles chart, coming in at number 6. While the third single, People, featuring Marcia on lead vocals, didn't make that chart at all, but managed to achieve success on the Billboard Dance Songs chart. The album's final single, Missing You, featuring Kim on lead vocals, also put up moderate numbers. The group then toured throughout the United Kingdom. After the conclusion of the tour, Victoria, Kim, and Marcia left the group. Once again, Soul II Soul was in need of lead vocalists for the recording of their next album. During recording sessions, Jazzy B recruited guest singers Richie Stephens, Kofi, Penny Ford, and Rick Clark, along with the re-edition of Caron to record on the album. They released Volume 3, Just Right, in 1992. The lead single Joy, featuring Richie, made it to number 4 on the UK singles chart. The follow-up single, Move Me No Mountain, featuring Kofi on lead vocals, achieved moderate success in the UK, as did the third single, Just Right, featuring Rick. The next year, the group released their greatest hits album, Volume 4, The Classic Singles, 88 to 93. The album spawned the single Wish, which featured a new addition to the group, Melissa Bell, on lead vocals. Despite her career as an established solo artist, Caron committed to the recording of the group's upcoming fourth album. During the record sessions, though, she and Jazzy B clashed over creative difficulties for the production of the album. The drama ultimately led to Caron leaving the group. Again. Now, without an official lead singer, Jazzy B was left to recruit more people. Background vocalist Penny Ford moved to front and center, and Charlotte Kelly, a background vocalist from the group's previous tour, was also recruited to join. The single Love Enough, featuring Penny, was released in 1995. The song also contains Caron's pre-recorded background vocals she'd already laid down before departing the group. Soul II Soul released their fourth studio album, Volume 5, Believe, also that year. The second single, I Care, which features Charlotte on lead vocals, charted at number 17 on the UK singles chart. 2 years later, the group released their fifth studio album, titled Time for Change. The album featured the singles Represent and Pleasure Dome. In 1998, Soul II Soul officially disbanded, with each member pursuing solo careers. Sadly, on March 1, 2002, Doreen Waddell passed away at the age of 36 after being hit by 3 cars on a highway in Shoreham, England, while she was fleeing from a shoplifting incident. Police said it appeared that she'd been running from a supermarket after being accused of stealing. Goods from the store were found scattered across the highway. Doreen had also recently been fined for shoplifting at a Woolworths. She left behind a 4-year-old son. Soul II Soul reformed in 2007 at the Lovebox Festival in Victoria Park, London. The lineup consisted of Karen Wheeler, Jazzy B, HB, and new addition MC Chickaboo. In 2008, there was royal recognition for the Funky Dreads when, after 30 years of dedication, Jazzy B was awarded an OBE, or Order of the British Empire, for services to music. Then in the same year, he won the Ivor Novello Award for inspiration, and as he stepped up to accept the trophy, he was announced as the man who gave British black music a soul of its own. On January 8, 2009, Lamia passed away of a sudden heart attack. She was 45 years old. Soul II Soul reunited for their reunion tour in 2010, with the lineup consisting of Jazzy B, Karen Wheeler, Rose Windross, Kim Mazel, Charlotte Kelly, HB, and MC Chickaboo. Following the completion of the tour at the end of 2011, Charlotte and Caron performed on and off as the featured vocalists for the group. 2012 saw Soul II Soul receive the PRS for Music Heritage Award with a special plaque erected on the Electric, formerly the Fridge in Brixton, where the group played their first live gig in 1991. The following year, Charlotte left the group again and Caron rejoined the group. Soul II Soul released a new single in 2016 called A New Day, credited to Caron Wheeler, which features production from Jazzy B and Louis Vega. They also released a live album, Origins, The Roots of Soul II Soul, that same year. Melissa Bell, who's also the mother of X Factor winner Alexandra Burke, passed away on August 28, 2017, after suffering from kidney failure. She was 53 years old. In 2018, Soul II Soul embarked on a landmark tour of the UK, marking 30 years of hugely influential success, paying tribute to their legendary debut album. The group sadly lost another original member when Dade passed away on September 10, 2024, at the age of 60. His family announced his passing the following week on the group's Instagram page, adding that while he was dealing with some health issues, his death was sudden and unexpected. Currently, Soul II Soul fans can gear up for the release of a live album of their 2022 performance at the legendary Roundhouse, fittingly titled Live at Roundhouse. Jazzy B summed it up best on the group's website. Every so often when we get together to perform, there's a surge of positive energy backstage that can transcend from us to the audience and back to the stage. The show at the Roundhouse in 2022 was one of those incredible moments. Enjoy with a happy face and thumpin' bass. The limited edition gold-coated double vinyl is set to drop on May 23, 2025.